Now, this story for some may be as much, if not more, about Kansas City as it is for Tennessee. But the Tennessee Titans have acquired L'Jarius Sneed from the two-time Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs for a third-round pick in 2025 and a pick swap in 2024. And but it's not just L'Jarius Sneed. Mason Rudolph to back up Will Levis, talk about supporting your quarterback. And Levis got that same kind of like benefit of the doubt at Kentucky. Like, oh, look at all the talent that left him his last year, before his last year. Mason Rudolph to back him up. Tony Pollard to go with Tajay Spears. They gave a lot of money to Calvin Ridley, beat out the Patriots for him. A lot of money to Calvin Ridley, but I mean, it's free agency, you're going to overpay. Free agency and overpay is sort of redundant to me.
29.
Lloyd Cushenberry. Got in Lloyd Cushenberry.
Good.
Sebastian Joseph Day on a one-year deal. Kenneth, don't call me Keith Murray. The most beautifulest thing in this world.
I was going to say, you beat me to it. You beat me to it. Go ahead.
And then in the secondary, to go along with Sneed, they bring in Chidobe Awuzie. Listen, man, all I know is a couple of weeks ago, you were like, what are the Titans doing letting Derrick Henry go? What are they doing?
Derrick Henry Derrick Henry replaced by Tony Pollard. Don't love that.
No, that's not a one-for-one. That's not a one-for-one. But now it seems like, based on your feed, you're like, what are the Chiefs doing? Letting L'Jarius Sneed go.
Listen, I know what they're doing. I understand it. I understand what they're doing, but part of this process is why for Super Bowl champions, especially for back-to-back Super Bowl champions, because it floats everybody. I know Steve Spagnuolo, he got a contract extension. You know, Patrick Mahomes restructured his contract. Chris Jones got a contract. Everybody wants a contract. Everybody can't get one. So L'Jarius Sneed deserves it. He was great. McDuffie and Sneed, remember I raved about them after the Super Bowl? How they silenced the 49ers? We didn't hear. Because as a matter of fact, now just remind me, did Debo play in the Super Bowl? I'm not sure.
He got hurt. He played and he got hurt.
Ayuk
got hurt.
He played? Was Ayuk in the game?
Ayuk played. Yeah, one of the greatest catches. No, that was the week before. I'm sorry. That was Detroit.
Anyway.
Yeah, Ayuk played.
Right,
he played.
exactly. But Sneed and McDuffie, a combo that really helped Steve Spagnuolo do all sorts of things defensively. He could scheme it up because those guys were fantastic throughout the regular season and in the postseason. But you have to let some of those players go if you're trying to keep it together. It's almost impossible. I can tell you right now, the Chiefs will not win 3 straight. They won't win 3 straight Super Bowls.
I told you. I'm betting most of my bets, your money. I'm betting on the Chiefs until they prove me wrong. I don't care what their record is going into the playoffs.
It sounds good.
They will win.
It sounds good, but
it's the most logical. It's the most logical against all odds, against history. Because I would actually.
Is it the most logical? It's never happened in like 50,
right, exactly.
In 55 years?
And yet it's the most logical pick is the Chiefs versus the field. I like your feed item. This is why Super Bowl three-peats are nearly impossible. I would say it's why it is possible. Because of when you make these types of choices. See, I think teams get in trouble when they just try to run it back, and they either complacent or they get sentimental. And they say, oh, we got to keep everybody. And we got to, overspend or overextend at the expense of other positions. Like, they were up against the cap. They were limited. They got depth and youth in the secondary. They got one of, if not the best defensive coordinator in the NFL that hasn't gotten another shot at a head coaching job, which he should. It's like, no, we're not going to run it back. We're going to make a hard decision. And let Sneed.
Greater than defensive coordinators.
No. But I'm saying you got to no, I'm not saying you don't need players, but they have players that they've developed internally. And they got a draft coming up for Brett Veach to do his thing again.
Okay.
The only problem I have with it from the Kansas City side, again, props to the Titans and what they're doing this offseason, even though you don't win it in March, is that it feels like a third pick is a third. That's highway robbery. Ran Carthon, you wanted for highway robbery. A third-round pick in 2025 is nothing for L'Jarius Sneed. probably could have got that as a compensatory pick, but they get cap flexibility. They got enough depth in the secondary. They have enough youth on defense in general. They have a system, a developmental and organizational infrastructure that allows them to withstand losses. They kept Chris Jones, so whoever the hell is behind Chris Jones' job is that much easier. They bring in Hollywood Brown on offense. We'll see what they do during the draft. Like, Hollywood Brown's a big pickup. All I'm saying is, it's these types of moves that make a three-peat possible. These types of moves is what makes sustained excellence and dominance possible, is making the hard decisions, is looking at every year as a new year. You're not going to tell me that the 2023 Kansas City Chiefs were the same team as the 2022 Kansas City Chiefs.
They weren't.
No. Right. They were not the same team. And they certainly weren't the same team they were the first time they won it. What?
Hollywood went to Marquise Brown and said, keep my name out your mouth. Okay. You ain't Hollywood. You're Overland Park Brown. You in Kansas City. You're Overland Park Brown, maybe.
I don't want to hear you.
Hollywood Brown.
I was about to use a phrase I shouldn't. I don't want to hear you talk about Hollywood Brown this year when he balled it out and catching the passes that Patrick Mahomes receivers dropped all of 2023.
Hollywood Brown? Really?
He's a good player.
He's not. He's not a good player.
All right.
He's not.
No, I'm glad you feel that way. It just lets me further know that I don't have to worry about you in this dynasty league. He's been hurt a lot.
It's going to be difficult, though.
He's been hurt a lot.
It's going to be difficult to go from L'Jarius Sneed to a developmental guy. Now, McDuffie, I got no problems with McDuffie. But replacing
They got
Sneed,
Watson. I forget the other young guy's name. They got some guys in that secondary.
They do.
Got some guys in that secondary.
They don't have anyone.
No, me forgetting is not an indictment. I just
okay. Yeah, I think it may be. They don't have anyone who's on the level of L'Jarius Sneed. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.